the CEO of Tágide restaurant in Lisbon, in Chiado. And I'm also a mom of 3 teenagers. And apart from that, I'm a ceramic artist, and my brand is called terr.a.mar. The initials of my brands are the initials of my 3 children, TAM. And I love to do a lot of things in my life. And I think all the experience they get together with other experiences. And I'm very proud also of my initiatives at the restaurant that is all about creativity, and I mix them all together.
Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life. And I'm really happy to be joined here by Suzana Barros. Suzana, boa tarde. It's after 1 o'clock, so after lunch. Boa tarde.
Exactly.
Thank you for being on the podcast. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me, Dylan. It's really a pleasure to be on your podcast. I'm doing very well. Thank you for this invitation.
Very good. We have something very old in the frame, not you or me, but behind you. That's, you said, was 16th century?
Actually, 18th century.
Oh, wow.
The old building is 18th century. The tiles are 18th century as well. Incredible. Very, very old, very beautiful. And
Who is that? Who is that gentleman?
This is Brito. They are Portuguese. They painted it with Portuguese masters of the 18th century. But Brito is from the Greek mythology, and we have several at the restaurant, very beautiful ones on the wall. And because all the restaurant, even the name Tágide, comes from the Greek mythology. The Tágides, they are the muses from the rivers and seas. Wow. From Greek mythology. And our poet, Camões, from the 16th century, he wrote this beautiful poem, the Lusíadas, and he writes that explorers, they used to see these nymphas, these muses, on the rivers and the seas. So because we have this beautiful and stunning view, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, yes.
The name is Tágide, so perhaps sometimes we can see these beautiful muses on the river.
Interesting. I like it a lot. Suzana, why don't you start off telling us a bit about you?
Okay, so I'm Suzana. I'm 53. I am a proud mom of 3 teenagers. And a part of having this beautiful restaurant, I have this restaurant for the last 18 years.
Wow.
And a part of it, I'm also an artist, a ceramic artist. So I divide my time of doing several things. What I like to do, I live in Cascais and I have the restaurant in Lisbon. Okay. And in the middle, I have my studio of ceramic, which is in Oeiras.
Okay.
And I love my ceramics. I think it's not really a job, it's more than a hobby, which I turn, with a brand, I turn in a more professional thing, but still very small. And I like to swim, I like to do a lot of sports, I like traveling, reading, and obviously going to restaurants are a few of my hobbies and the things that I love to do.
Very nice. It sounds like you're a very busy woman. Being a mom of 3 teenagers is also hard work.
It is.
That's where the wine comes into it.
I would say, yeah, I love drinking wine. I don't drink much. I think I drink very little, but I like to taste wine. I think it's something that we have very, very good in our country. And time to time, we also have this beautiful wine tasting with art. And I think they are really amusing, and we can taste beautiful wine. So I have the opportunity those times to have wines. And most of my time, I do my ceramics to relax and to handle with my children and the restaurant and everything. I think I go more for that way than for the wine way. Even I really love
probably a better way to go, actually, than,
yes,
than relying on the wine. And wine is supposed to be tasted, not drunk for medicinal purposes.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, Suzanne, I mean, you're such a busy woman, but just how, because we've had a lot of people on the podcast, CEOs, entrepreneurs like yourselves, like yourself, who are busy but somehow manage, the catchphrase lately in the world is work-life balance.
Mhm.
I feel like something we've always been doing in Portugal is managing to find a balance somehow. But yeah, how does Portugal help you kind of rest, inspire you, recover from such a busy life?
I mean, I get inspired of all this beautiful landscape that I have the opportunity to have. I work in this beautiful place. I live in a very nice place in Cascais as well. So all these landscapes, they inspire me, and I can rest as well, watching these places, and obviously doing some sports in nature. And I think Cascais is a very nice place to live. Lisbon is a very nice place to work, and in the middle, I can create in a way that I have my studio, that I have my ceramic magic place, and I create. I think creativity is really important. It's very mindfulness, and on the other hand, gives us a lot of support to business. And I think creativity, if you get creativity, you get more creativity. So it's something that you have to exercise. And I think it's really interesting, that situation. And how can I apply this to my life? How can I relax with that? I think it's a very good balance.
Very nice. I like how strategically you've put your home, your work, and your escape all in
Yes.
different places, all along the way.
Yes, yes,
It's
along
good.
the way. Yes, not only on the same place, along the way. I need a lot of places.
It makes perfect sense. But tell us a bit about some of the ceramic work that you do. We've had some ceramicists on the podcast before. It's something that's deeply, deeply, deeply a part of Portuguese DNA and culture. Historically, this it's a fascinating thing when you start digging into the historics of ceramics in Portugal. But tell us a little bit about your enjoyment of it, what you do, and give us some background about the history as well. It's always nice to hear.
Sure. Um, I started. I have a degree on fine art. I started my life in art. Um, but while I was studying, I started doing some painting, some tiles. I painted and I painted some tiles. So I have this thing with tiles along the way. But I started ceramics, which is a bit different. Painting tiles is different than doing ceramics.
Mm.
I started ceramics a few years ago because I wanted to do other things apart from restaurants. At the time, I had another restaurant and I had a lot of people working for me, and I was getting a bit exhausted. And I thought I have to do something apart from the restaurant. So I started the ceramic project more to relax, and I started doing a few things for the restaurant because I have some plates on the restaurant, some little details. And I like that. I like that idea that I can personalize a bit the service with my pieces. And I get inspired. I have a brand. I created a brand, and I do it more. I do it in a regular way now. From 3 to 4 years ago, I do it in a regular way. I do some exhibitions. I have my pieces in a few hotels, and I don't do it in massive way because I don't have time, and I don't want to. I like to be free in my ceramics. So I don't accept a lot of things. I like that way. And I get inspired, obviously, in the sea, nature, and all my pieces are very organic. I like to start my pieces. I have an idea, and my hands they will drive me to a nice piece. I don't like to control it. You know, it's something that I feel really free. And even when I glaze my pieces, I get really, I just do it. I'm not afraid of it. I just, let's see how it goes. And it's something that I just love the result, and I think it's very spontaneous, and I think it's the very good when we have a quite stressful, job, when you have something that you can balance and you can be totally free. Something very, very good, very interesting. I can show you some pieces. I don't know if I can
Yeah,
show you now.
yeah,
Yes.
please.
Okay. So I will show you. So this is my beautiful view. Okay.
Mm,
I have this every day. Don't get too jealous. Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay, so this is one of my beautiful pieces. I don't know if you can see here. Okay.
Okay,
And
you just go
another
a bit
one,
okay.
yeah, it's quite nice. And here, let me see. I'm trying to, I don't know if you see the restaurant. Can you see the
Yes,
restaurant?
beautiful.
It is. It's really nice. And now this is a beautiful vase that you can see the
Just
pieces.
point the phone down a bit. Okay, there we go. Oh,
You can
yes.
see it.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, this is one of my other pieces. And I have also some, this is the restaurant. I have some, I don't know if you see very well. I have some other stones that I made in ceramics over there, which I think are
Okay.
really interesting. So they
It's
are
the lampshade.
the lampshade, but yeah, I think you can
Okay.
see the pieces. You see?
Those there. Yeah, beautiful.
And most of my pieces, I mean, we use them to serve the clients, so I don't have them here, but they've, some details, they're very, very nice. They're all different. I don't make equal pieces. I like that way to make, everything is different.
Everything is unique.
So everything is unique. It's full. And it's very nice because clients, they when they realize that it's like a unique piece that was made by me, they get really special. They think it's very special, and it is. It's to make them feel special. And this is the idea.
Yeah. How
It's
did it
very
start
nice.
for you? I mean, like I've had a previous ceramicist, obviously I'm near to Caldas de Rainha, and that's very,
Okay.
it's got a lot of history there with the ceramic art and the bordado and these kind of things. And we've had a lady who she just started doing ceramics because of her parents, because of her grandmothers, and her art was inspired by that past. How did it start for you, and what was it about this art form that excited you?
I love sculpture, and most of my ceramics, they are sculptures. And I think it's very important when you work with your hands, and especially on the clay, you're just feeling the materia, you're feeling
The raw
part
materials, yeah.
of the, yeah, exactly. I wanted something like that, and I wanted to do volumetry. I wanted something, that I could expand. If I want to do something big, I do something big. If I want to do something small, I do something small. But I wanted to have this opportunity to have, do something big in volumetry, not just watercolor or something. No, I wanted to big. If I want to do big, I will do big. And this is something that I thought, no, it's quite interesting. Let's see how it works. And it worked very well. And especially what I think is the most important thing is how you feel doing ceramics, how you feel putting your hands on clay. And this is an amazing, amazing feeling. So it started like that. Yes. And one curiosity is, I was thinking last year, I have the restaurant and I love ceramics. So I think I should put them together. And I started this interesting initiative, which is brunch. You can have, I mean, we have several initiatives with art at the restaurant, art and gastronomy. Okay. So we started with brunch and ceramics. And we have it on Saturdays. Everybody can make a reservation. And it's quite interesting. People come, have a brunch, and they can paint some mug, some swallows, a few things. After they paint, they have this activity. They love it. They get really relaxed. And after that, we glaze it. We put on oven because I have a ceramic oven here at the restaurant. And we deliver to them. And which is very, very interesting. And we do the same on Wednesday evening. So it's I wanted to do something with both areas that I love, my passions in a way. I wanted to put them together, and I wanted people to feel the same feeling I have. Obviously, it's a different thing because in one hand you paint. In my case, I do it like sculpture, but the feeling is quite similar because people feel very comfortable. They feel very safe, they feel nourishment. I mean, it's very emotional. And I think it's really great, something that I enjoy. I enjoy that people enjoy to have these activities. It's really wonderful.
I mean, it must be a nice feeling when people are coming to your restaurant and they're looking at pieces around the restaurant that were made with your own hands. That must be quite rewarding.
It is. And today, actually, I didn't bring any of my jewelry because I love to make beautiful rings. I didn't bring any. I should have bring. But every time I'm here doing sometimes I'm not here. I have someone that's normally with the clients. But every time I'm here, I bring my pieces. I bring either my rings or earrings or necklaces, whatever. And people really they like it. They say, "Oh, is it you that you make and you here explaining to us?" And it's really and apart from that, if they're coming to the restaurant, obviously they can also have some small details like the olive oil. Everything is on my pieces. I think it's something very special, and I like that.
It sounds amazing. I mean, let's talk about the restaurant. I think we've covered, I mean, the art, and the people are going to get a nice visual and emotional experience walking into your space. We've touched a little bit on wine. Let's talk about food and the overall experience. What can people expect when coming to your restaurant?
It's not just an experience of eating. Obviously, at the restaurant you have to eat, but it's not just that, because when you get actually we do have two restaurants. We are at the upper part of the one of the restaurants, which is a fine dining, and the other one where we do the ceramics and everything is like more gastro bar. I can show you to you later on. It's just an experience. First, to get to the restaurant, you have to ring a bell, and you have someone that is going to open you the door. And the exterior of the building is like an 18th century building, as I told you. And the Portuguese architecture from the 18th century is very austere. Has to do with the Marquês de Pombal that recovered all this area from the fire, as you probably know. So the buildings are very austere on the outside. But when you get inside, you start having all these, the stair, which is beautiful, and you get, the tiles, you get the view, and people get really surprised with the atmosphere. So it's more an experience than just coming to a restaurant. And obviously you eat very well. We have a very nice menu, and we have only Portuguese wines. We just work with Portuguese wines. And so I think what people can get, it's an experience when they come to the restaurant, of course.
Okay, but this is something very Portuguese. Obviously, with we're talking at a bit of a higher level in terms of quality and things like that. But my wife and I always talk about when we go somewhere to eat, you'd get both. You get the good food and the comfort food, and you don't leave hungry. But the environment is nice. You feel relaxed. You feel at home. This is something that is very Portuguese.
Yes, I think so. I think we Portuguese, we like to welcome people. I think it's one of our characteristics. I don't think we integrate. I think we are close to integrate totally foreigners, but we like to welcome the foreigners very well. It's something that we do very well. And I think it's a very good characteristic that we have. We like to explain things. We like to receive well people. We like to be very friendly. But when foreigners try to get to know us better in our in our groups, in our small groups, it's a bit more complicated. No, I mean, not complicated. I think it's normal. We are a bit more close on that. But apart from it, I think we like to welcome people. I think it's one of our characteristics. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've created this comfortable space where people can come and sit, and you've spoken about how, with the brunch and art, and then you do it on Wednesdays. You're not rushing anybody to leave.
No,
This is,
no,
and I mean, I've eaten in so many places around the world, and you often feel like you've got this hour to eat and then it's time to leave
no.
because then there's more people waiting for tables. I've never experienced it in Portugal, whether it's been a Michelin restaurant, whether it's been a local Tasca. Eating is an experience. It's time to sit down, relax, talk, take your time. Nobody ever feels rushed. And this is something that's beautiful. This is something that's the way it should be, I think.
I think it's very cultural. I think we like to eat, and because we have such good food, you can see that we really like to eat. It's something that is very cultural. Um, I think people, and it's normal that people like to cook, and they say, "Oh, I learned of my mom, or I learned from my grandmother," because there is this tradition in everybody's life, everybody's family, and a lot of things are speaked or done on the table. You have like business are done on the tables.
Yeah.
Big events. You have family coming to your place. Everything is on the table. Like you like to receive people. You have like a big lunch. You have a big dinner. So we live a lot around the table and around food. Yes, this is totally true. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's we.
Do, uh, do you like to cook?
No, I don't like. I love to eat. I do know how to
Okay.
cook, but I kind of rush it a little bit. I'm not an expert cooking, not at all. Okay, we can sleep this.
No, that's okay. That's okay. In terms of Suzana, when you're not at the restaurant, and it's your time or you're out with your kids, what are the type of things and the type of things that you like to eat and the type of places that you like to go to eat with your family?
I like fish, so I go a lot to restaurants, fish restaurants in Cascais because we live there. It's more practical to go there, and there are a lot of beautiful places, even in the beach. Very simple, but food is always good. So I normally eat more fish. I'm not a very meat person. My children, they are very meat, so we have to balance it a little bit. We normally go to places where we have both. But yes, I love to go to these places in near sea and where you can have very nice fish. Normally are my favorite ones. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
There are several. There are very good ones and several, for
you
sure.
can't go wrong with fish in Portugal. I actually even like a lot of chefs worldwide, they say the best places they've eaten fish is in Portugal, and yeah, it's I don't know, we do it right. There's something that they do right about the fishing.
Yeah, the fish, the seafood, it's very tasty, and there is something that I love. I think foreigners they don't understand very much. First, they don't understand the name, which is percebes. Have you heard
Yeah,
about it?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes they find it a bit weird, but they taste see, they taste it's amazing. So it's wonderful.
Yeah,
Um,
they I was speaking to previous podcast guests about perception, and they aren't the nicest things to look at.
no,
But it's fun. It's fun, and you sit there and you squeeze them and taste like
and they
taste like
taste unique. It's like unique.
Yeah, that's true.
They see. And there is another thing that I also love, which is lapas. I don't know if you heard.
Oh
If
yes,
you
yeah,
take it,
yeah,
they're wonderful. And if
yeah,
you go to Madeira, it's amazing. It's so delicious. They are
yeah,
huge. They're fat. They're marvelous.
yeah. And it's just so simple as well. They just literally open up these shells. You got the lapa inside. It's garlic. It's some oil. It's not
It's they
complicated.
they look very simple, but they're wonderful. They're very,
Yeah,
tasty, very, very good. Wonderful.
yeah. I've had lots in Madeira and in Azores as well. There was a place that we used to go in Azores, which the lapas were just wonderful. So yeah, it's good. It's really
It's
good.
good. It's very good. With a good wine, that is the opportunity to have very good wine.
Between my job as a realtor at Portugal Realty and hosting this podcast, life is pretty busy. But lately, I've been receiving so many messages from people that want to know more about buying property here on Portugal's Silver Coast that I've got to do something about it. So starting now, for subscribers only, I'm offering up a 30-minute session per day. That's 5 30-minute sessions for a one-on-one meeting to talk about buying property here on Portugal's beautiful Silver Coast. This is for subscribers only. So please subscribe to book your session and get in touch with us through the links below via WhatsApp or email to book your session today. I'll be happy to speak to you. It's for subscribers only and it's completely free. So what wine or do you have with your lapis or with your seafood?
I would have for sure. I love Azores wine for seafood because it's very mineral. It's quite unique. I don't know if you know Azores wine. It's like they're quite new, the projects. I mean, new. They're not the old ones, but they're wonderful, very balanced. But they go very well with seafood or even with fish. I normally go either mineral wines. I also like very much sparkling wines.
Mineral wine. What do you mean by that? Like a vinho
It's like
verde
mineral.
type?
No, it's like it comes from a bit. It's a bit of flavor of the sea. When you have the terroir is close to the sea, you
got a
have
bit of
that
saltiness.
flavor. Yeah, it's a bit saltiness on it, and you can taste it, and it goes very very well with the seafood. And if you go for fish, I would go for sure for white wine. Some depending on the fish. If it's a fatty fish, I would go with a more gastronomic wine, white wine. If it's not a fat fish like a sea bass or something, I would go for a more subtle wine, white wine also. And sparkling wine. I'm also very fan of sparkling wine. There is a region that I adore, which is Down.
Oh yes,
the Down region. They're very very good on sparkling wines, and we do have fantastic winemakers for sparkling wine, not for the rest, obviously. So they're great. They're wonderful.
Yeah, we did a tasting with a guy a long time ago called Helder Cunha.
Elder
And he has a wine Cabo do Roca, which is that, and it was that taste of the sea on the wine was just
it's salty.
gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely. Because
You
it was
have
a coastal. He grew it all coastal on these low vineyards right on the coastline. They even strategically had these vines that were lower down, and they'd even catch a bit of the dunes. And the taste was so distinct. It was incredible.
it's different. It's very different. It's very very good. Also, quite close to that area, there is an area. I mean, the one it's like a digestive. It's like a digestive. Not I don't say liquor, but it's also very interesting. You're close to that area. You have Colares.
Yes, that's where he has
The wines of
one of his
Colares are very
farms. Yeah.
good. And you have also the Carcavelos. Do you know the Carcavelos wines?
Yes,
They
yes.
they amazing also, but in a different, obviously, different characteristics. But they are very small productions, and it's worth to try because they are really special.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Um, yeah, the wine is you could do a whole conversation just about Portuguese wine. It's the best.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, we were introduced by our friend Anna
Yes.
Mulakawa, who was a previous
More
guest,
local.
and Anna's one of the many foreigners who have found their happy place in our country. Um, I mean, you've been in Lisbon now for a long time. Your business has been in Lisbon for a long time.
For a long time.
You've seen quite a lot of changes. Tell us how you've seen the Lisbon change, and what do you think is bringing so many people not just to Lisbon but to our amazing country?
I think Portugal is being rediscovered.
Rediscovered?
Yes, I mean, I
Yeah.
think at the beginning it was more, not the beginning, a few years ago it was more people that was already retired. They love our country, they love the golf, and but now what I think is that we see a lot of people that are still working. They work, they travel a lot. They find it very interesting, and I think it's very good because they are active. they're more aware of our culture. They're more interested in what we do. Uh, I think normally the expats they like to live in their community in a way, but they feel very curious. They feel a lot of curiosity about our culture, and this is very important. That didn't happen with the retired people that used to come. They used to do their lives. It was a different perspective. I think it's I think it's very good. It brings a lot of culture to our different cultures to our country, brings people that want to spend their money with us. And so the economy obviously is going to develop. And people that are really interested in our culture, they appreciate. They are normally people that they see, for example, a tile, and they do appreciate. They don't just, don't look at it.
Yeah.
They do appreciate our landscape, our variety of wines, and they do respect our culture. It's something that I notice. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. I truly think it's very good. I'm totally, in favor of that. This type of foreigners come to our country, and I think we should really take care of these new communities because they help us growing in several ways.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you've raised an interesting point and added a dimension to it that um I kind of have seen already. Because I mean, I've been in Portugal for 16 years, and I'm involved in real estate, so that's my job. When I first came, it was a lot of kind of people looking for a holiday home, maybe looking to retire, and that kind of tourist, in inverted commas, tourist or visitor is different because they're going to spend their 3 weeks and then they're going to go, and they've come to play, like you mentioned, play golf or sit at the beach and then go. And you're seeing someone like Anna and other people that we've had on the podcast where no, they're coming here to live and they want to be part of what we do. And there's something about the Portuguese, not just our beaches and not just our sunshine, but about how we live, that is attracting people. And I'm seeing it with my clients as well. I mean, all of my clients, we're not in a touristic part of the country. We're, Zona West. It's villages. It's authentic. It's Nazaré. It's these authentic fishing towns and coastal villages. And it's not just about, okay, well, we're coming because it's a beach and there's nice weather. It's, well, we like the way that we're welcomed. We like the quality of life. We like the way that Portuguese live. And I think this is something quite special, that we have people that are not just coming to kind of take what they want and go, but to come and really live and be a part of it. And that's quite special. And special that they can come and do that here, that there's that openness from the Portuguese to say, yes, come be a part of what we are and who we
I
are.
think, and also something that I noticed, and especially obviously with Anna and also with other friends that I know, they want us to develop. I mean, they love our culture, they love our heritage, they love the way we are, but in a way, they want us to develop in certain aspects because they see the potential and they want kind of help us. I think I think that is very, very important, and to invest in our lands, invest in our I mean, even artists and our culture. I think it's super important. We do have very, very good, as you know, very good artists, and it's very important to help them growing. So I see this in a very, very positive way, and I do.
Yeah.
I clap to that. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that kind of goes under the radar about Portugal in general is there is some amazing artwork happening. You talk about, I mean, just you gave us an example of your artwork, but there's people doing amazing work, and it's always kind of flown under the radar because that's never been the reason people come to Portugal in the past. Now, I think with what's happening with these communities coming in, and other artists coming, they're shining light on an art scene that was there already, which I think can only benefit people. And artists then don't have to go to sell their product or to sell their work. They can still do it here.
So,
And that becomes quite interesting. But there's something else I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned how Portuguese are very welcoming and very open, but to integrate into their communities is sometimes challenging. And it's not because Portuguese are rude. It's
no,
because they've got these established circles and they've got these established groups. But then you have a foreigner that comes in and wants to make the effort. That means a lot as well. That goes a long way as well.
yes, I think so. I think so. It depends also. I think the age of the Portuguese we're talking. I think people from my generation, they're a bit more closed
Mm,
in a way.
hmm
I think younger generations, because they have a different mindset. They traveled so much. They have a different mindset, and I think they easily integrate foreigners in their groups. But I do find quite I do find quite difficult if you really want to get into the Portuguese groups. As a friend, uh, I find it not for me at all, but I find it quite difficult. Some of I see on my groups, I have several groups, several Portuguese groups and foreign groups. I see it on my groups. I see it. They
Yeah.
always have this, oh, it's foreign. I mean, but I think it's probably a question of time. It's not so far away. I mean, it's quite new. Even I think we're talking about this foreigners coming and really appreciate our culture, I would say, in 5 years after COVID. So
Yeah.
it's quite new.
Yeah. It
We have
started happening already. Then COVID kind of paused it and now it's gone again.
yes. So I think we should give some time. And I think we are as a Portuguese, we are also we have such strong culture and such strong customs,
Mm,
and that is very hard in a way to be more flexible on that,
yeah.
because a lot of Portuguese had probably very traditional um, families as I did, and so I think time will help us to integrate more, not more, in a different way,
Yeah.
in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there are things I think, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think what you mentioned it's the older generation, and I think we have to factor in history and what's happened in Portugal's recent history. We're not talking that it was a long time ago of a dictatorship where we couldn't mingle, we couldn't mix. We had
Express,
to,
yeah, for sure.
and so now you're seeing a younger generation where that's not even in their minds, that they don't remember this, and so for them it's normal to just talk to whoever and mingle with whoever, and I think that's quite interesting. Um, yeah, and then there's little things. I mean, my wife's Portuguese, and there were things culturally that I just had to get used to, and that I didn't understand at the beginning. Like I didn't, and now I mean it's so obvious, but how seriously in Portugal we take our food.
Totally.
You don't just go to a place. No, you go to a place because you go to a place if it's interesting, but there must be a good restaurant there. And what are we going to eat? And that was like a huge thing. And that took me a long time to get used to, just as a
Sure.
small example, how being in the right place, having the right meal is such an important part of a weekend
It
that
is.
this is a serious conversation.
It is a serious conversation. Exactly. I don't go to a place without knowing where am I going to eat,
Yeah. See,
because it really can fail my whole experience,
yeah.
because it's like a whole experience that we have this. So I think it's very us. I don't know if Spanish are also the same, because they also have a very high culture on that. But I think us for sure. We travel And when we travel, we want to know where we're going to eat, because it can ruin totally our weekend. So
Yeah.
let's do it.
I mean,
Very seriously.
I'm from South Africa, and you know, you have this and I don't know really how to explain it, but you have quite a we have a heavy it's a heavy drinking culture. So as long as you've got a lot of drink there, you know, it's okay if the food's not so good. That's the one thing I see that in the UK as well. It's a quite some you eat in a rush. And the thing that changed for me coming to Portugal was you don't eat in a rush. There's no. You take your time, and if it's 3 hours, it's fine. If it's 4 hours, if it goes on until dinner, then we carry on eating. It's amazing. Like it's so good, and that's the best way to get to know people. And I think that's something where, for a lot of people, it's that stopping just to eat, and just stopping just to sit around a table and um it took some time for me to get used to. I've got to say it, but it's now I wouldn't have it any other way. It's amazing, you know.
And even with families, we have this thing with family. For example, with my children, but everybody has this. The dinner time or lunchtime on the weekends, wherever. I mean, obviously they can do other programs, but normally at dinner time, we sit all at the table at the same time and we speak about how was our day, our things. And I think it's very important. And for example, I know that the Americans, they don't have this at all. They're like, they eat. Everybody eats in different times in different parts of the house. But as you probably know, and it happens with you as well, we have the time to sit, to eat, to speak, all together.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
this.
amazing. Well, I mean, what advice would you give to people? You've got you're you know you're part of Portuguese and foreign communities in Portugal, in Lisbon. But what advice would you give to people that they're wanting to come and make their home here? They're wanting to contribute, they're wanting to integrate, they're wanting to be a part of a community. Um, what advice would you give to people who would like to do that?
I would say, first of all, I think it's very important that they live a little bit out of their expat communities,
Mm.
and they observe Portuguese. Some of the places that the expats go, they are not the places that most of the Portuguese they go. And for example, I'll give you an example in Lisbon. There are parts that are very There are parts of Lisbon, they are very Portuguese residents, where a lot of Portuguese people, for example, go to Alvalade. You
Yeah,
don't find
Alvalade.
foreigners.
Yeah,
You
and it's
go.
such a nice part of the
You
city.
see a lot of Portuguese living there. You see a lot of Portuguese restaurants there. So you do have to make this effort. Go to places where Portuguese are. Don't go only to Avenida de Liberdade, which is nice. Don't go only. I mean, I do live in Cascais, and I'm surrounded with foreigners, but I still have my friends and I have my, secret places. But it's very important that foreigners, they observe Portuguese and go to the places where Portuguese go.
Yeah.
And
Go to a
this is very
festa.
important.
Go to a festa.
Go to a festa, exactly. Go to Santos, but go to Santos and try to, get to the place where the Portuguese are, and try to understand them, try to see. I think observing people, even if you don't speak their language, you can see their body language. And it's very important. It's a way you can understand a lot of things. And I think it's very important to be observant.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah, I was quite lucky because I think within my first 2 months or 3 months of living in Portugal, I'd already been to 3 or 4 festas, but just Portuguese village festas in the middle of nowhere, Carnival,
Yes.
and you see the real thing happening in front of you. And yeah, I think maybe it was just a habit, but I just kind of sat back and went, okay, let's see how people do stuff here, because it's very different. And that helped a lot. That helped a lot. And there's, yeah, go to a festa, choose a football team.
go to a festa, go to Santos, but where the Portuguese are, go to
not
Portuguese
just in,
neighborhoods,
yeah,
and go to
the Tashka.
Tascas, but places where Portuguese normally go. If you go there, you will understand. Go to Portuguese concerts. You don't even understand the music, but just go, just observe them, just, try to meet them, try to integrate with them. And I think sometimes I don't see many foreigners doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's important, I think, for the Portuguese, because when you see this person that he's come to our festa in our village or in our neighborhood, we don't have, it's them or it's somebody, they've made an effort to try to understand how we live. And I think that's an
totally.
important step.
It is totally. Otherwise, we know that they respect us totally, but they don't get integrated in our, they do integrate in our culture, but not in our closest community.
Yeah.
And you understand this very well, for sure.
Yeah. And when you do get inside, it's just to see the way the Portuguese approach life and family and celebrate. It's something really, really special. And then you understand a lot more about why the country is the way it is. So yeah, it's a privilege once you're able to get deeper. Yeah.
It is a
Suzana,
privilege.
what would you like? What is one thing that you would like people to remember and to take away from our conversation?
Remember from our conversation, a part of coming to this beautiful, wonderful place that is magical, called Tágide. I think it's really nice. I would say observing us, having time to understand. If you do want to get into our culture, our community, do observe us. It's very important. I think this is something that I would say people should take from our conversation. Yes, for sure.
Interesting. Speaking of Tágide, how can people follow you online and know more about all the amazing work that you're doing?
Tágide, you can Google it. Restaurante Tágide. You can Google it, or you can go to our websites or our just Googling. You can find all our social media, and about my ceramic brand, which is a bit more difficult because it's terr.a.mar, but you have to put you don't have an A after terra. You just have a dot. A is on the middle, then a dot, and then mar. And just a curiosity, the initials of terr.a.mar are the initials of the names of my 3 children. Tomás, Antonio, and Mafalda. TAM.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
So it's
we'll put some links in the show notes and people can get in touch. And you're also on LinkedIn if anybody wants to chat.
Okay, thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you.
Suzana, a question that we ask all of our guests.
Yes.
Portugal, the simple life. Why?
Just that. I mean, you can sit in a very, very normal place and it is extraordinary. Have an extraordinary experience. I don't say even eat. You can, just have a conversation in front of the sea. You don't even have to have a lot of money for that. So this is simple. Simplicity. You can have a fantastic meal and not spending a lot of money. But obviously you can do this the other way around. But this is simplicity. You just can choose what you want. It's very simple.
Very much so. Suzana, thank you for being on the podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you soon.
Yes, very much. And I'm going to let you call it.
Okay, that's a wrap.
So thank you once again to our guest, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.